Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a segment that I would like to call Cuba Knows Nothing. And pretty much being the idiot that I am, this is me obtaining information, whether reading it from the Googles, from the YouTubers, or whatever the case may be, any pieces of information that I get, relaying it over to y'all, and most likely relaying it incorrectly. Now, the best part and the most important part is when relaying information as a content creator, always, and I mean always, make sure you have a drink present, because at the end of the day, when you're giving wrong pieces of information over and look like you know what you're talking about, all you have to do is just blame it on the and you're not held accountable. So today's useless piece of information that I'm passing along to y'all that I recently learned is how to read your GMT function on your watch. Let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you onto this useless piece of information that I most likely will relay incorrectly. But hey, Cuba knows nothing.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Listen, morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This is your boy, C to the V to A. Now, hopefully you guys are subscribed and watched my last video of me driving down to Midtown Manhattan, spending $75 for 1 hour of parking, spending almost $5 on a fucking stale-ass pretzel that tasted like hot hyena balls, not to mention spending over $4,000 on my beautiful new timepiece, which is my Tudor Pepsi. Isn't she a beaut? AKA the poor man's Rolex, and I am the poor man to rock it. Now, this poor man's Rolex has a GMT hand or GMT function, and guess what? Some basic bitch motherfuckers like myself don't know what GMT does, never needed a GMT. I didn't grow up on the block playing stickball or handball or booties up or suicide giving a shit about GMT or GMT functions. Guess what? Casio with the digital shit, I can read the time, let's keep it moving. But now, some of us are getting older and wiser and are trying to step our games up and our knowledges up on different things like watches with GMT functions. Now, Cuba, what the fuck is a GMT function? What does GMT even mean? Well, according to the Googles, GMT means Greenwich Mean Time. So that means it was a time developed in the Greenwich Village by a bunch of queens thinking they hot shit. That's probably not accurate, but let's go that way. Shout out to my queens. Yes. Cheers. Now, when looking through different YouTube videos, not to mention the information that was given to me over at Torno when I purchased the watch, when he set my GMT function and explained it to me in a manner that I completely didn't understand and had to come home and research it a little bit more myself. And it's not complicated, but me, I'm the type of person that I need hands-on explanation and a real stupid way of explaining it, which hopefully some of y'all require also, and guess what? Cuba Knows Nothing is here to explain that. So let's look at some close-up shots, and I'm gonna try to explain to you in the most ABC way and probably incorrect fashion that I can explain a GMT movement. So this is my Tudor GMT Pepsi, what we like to call Pepsi because obviously the Pepsi colors, duh. So this has already been set up by the kind gentleman over at Torno to read the GMT time. This is the GMT hand. Now, GMT pretty much allows you to read 2 or 3 time zones. Now, I'm basic as fuck, so we're only gonna be discussing how to read 2 time zones or how to set 2 time zones. This portion right here of the dial would be the 24 hours in a day. So in reading this shit, think of it like in military times. 2200 hours, 2000 hours, 1800, etc, etc, etc. So on my watch right now, it's approximately 147. Now the GMT 10 is already set over down, scraping the 14. You see, it's still in the 1 o'clock space because it's not on 14 yet because it's 147. So we use this as the hour hand. Still 147. It's still in that space, right? So it's 147, as well as reading it here, 147. So as a real dummy example, if you're going over to Cali, I'm in New York. So if you're going over to Cali, it's what, 3 hours behind. So we rotate the dial 3 hours back. So in Cali, it should be right now 10:49. So 10:49, but over here, it's 1:49. Makes sense? So 1:49, and in Cali, it's 10:49. 49.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So does that make sense? So it's showing you the 2 different time zones, and I'm sure there's another way to set up 3, but I'm not trying to make this mad complicated, right? So this is a very, very preschool way to explain a GMT function. 2 time zones is enough for me to learn right now from my remedial ass. So I hope this is good, useless information for y'all. Just giving you a little bit of idea how to read your GMT function. This is probably the worst how to read a GMT time on a watch video in YouTube history. But listen, if you're gonna do something, be the best or the worst at it. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart. I hope you found literally maybe 1 piece of information here, or please feel free in the comments below to bash me, criticize me, the whole shit. I'm not a watch guy. I'm just the guy here to entertain you and possibly giving you complete wrong pieces of information for you to correct me in the comments as a novice, super basic, elementary watch guy. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know what is the biggest in the game? I need more alcohol. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. For the fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.